So it's been a while, lads. It's been a while. If you guys wondered where I've been, basically I kind of burnt out on the type of content that I was previously making. With the entirety of like NBA videos being claimed, a whole bunch of other stuff. First of all, like majority of videos I was making, I wasn't making money because of the footage I was using. As well as that, another big problem was that if the videos where I was putting constant pictures through them in the editing, they were taking way too long to make. And if you guys don't know, I actually have a gaming channel, as you guys will be able to see under me right now. It is the DBG gaming channel. It's a 2K channel with like nearly 220,000 subscribers, 100 million views. That's kind of where my main focus is. But I've been starting to watch a lot more basketball recently, so I do plan on making a lot more videos talking about just things that I'm interested in basketball. And rather than making kind of the heavily edited, highly researched videos like going back on stories of a lot of players, because you know what, they got the most views, but I really did not enjoy watching videos of Rob Bobrovsky and saying the same thing year after year after year, and that's the reason why I got burnt out. So I think these type of content, well, this type of video, it makes it kind of a lot easier to talk about, as well as that anything that kind of comes into my head for basketball, I'm going to be chucking onto this channel. It's been kind of dormant for at least the past year. I think I've uploaded like 2-3 videos. So what I do plan on doing is just talking pretty much. I'm going over a few things and not going to be as highly edited, not going to be as much going into detail in terms of stories, but it's just going to be a little more just talking about basketball. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I am not too worried. But in this video, we're going to be talking about a player that I'm really interested in and what people thought about him before the draft. That player obviously is Tyler Herro, who has honestly done a really great job in the NBA playoffs. There's been a lot of things that people have been talking about this guy. A lot of people, they just look at the scoring, and the scoring was super impressive yesterday. That 37-point game was super impressive. But there's a lot of things that are incredible about this guy. The fact that he never seems to back down. The fact he's not that bad a defender. And, well, yeah, he's not going to be this like lockdown clamps player. He is a player that will not back down from anything. If you guys look at stuff from the very start of his rookie year, he literally told Jimmy Butler to not guard Devin Booker, which was something you would very rarely hear out of a rookie. And did he get cooked? I have no idea. He probably did. But you know what? That type of attitude is a really good thing to see. And one of the things that I really like about him and Duncan Robinson is their positional sense on defense is incredible. Like, at worst case scenario, Tyler Herro is going to be he's going to be a great team defender. He's great at the back of that zone. I love the way Miami Heat play the zone. I'm going to probably do a video talking about that. I love how they have their most athletic guys at the top, and then the guys at the back, their job really is just to watch the skip passes and to run people off the line. Like, it is, man, it's a near perfect kind of unorthodox zone, which is really hard to break down. And again, Tyler Herro's positional sense, his work rate on both ends of the floor, as well as, for lack of a better word, just his swagger in his offensive game. He seems to be a type of player who's confident that he's going to make every single shot he takes, which is absolutely incredible. The reason why I'm a huge fan of Tyler Herro. But in this video, we're going to be looking at what people said about him before the draft. We're going to be looking at about 5 different articles. I will leave a link to all of these in the description. And yeah, that is pretty much it. We're going to be reading them, having a look, and going through it. So the first one is from eucourier-journal.com by John Hale. So, Tyler Herro completed one of the most unlikely one-and-done turns in Calipari tenure, the 13th overall pick. Let's have a look. Projected by many pundits to serve reserve role as a freshman, he wasted little time proving he was worthy of more minutes. And funnily enough, if you actually look back at Zion Williamson in high school, literally he said the most underrated player was Tyler Herro, which was kind of crazy. 35% from 3. I'm actually shocked. I'm shocked that he's been able to translate to shooting so well. Like 35% in college very rarely translates to being a great shooter at the NBA level. And yeah, there's not really much in this. They just basically this is a nothing article. This is kind of a nothing article. And that is something in itself, that they just say, considered a poor defender as a recruit, he progressed enough on that side, he felt comfortable assigning him to guard sharpshooter Fletcher McGee. the NCAA's all-time three-point leader in the tournament. He held him to 4 of 17 in the field and 0 of 12 in three-point range. Like, that is kind of, again, even though this is a nothing article, it's just kind of explaining what has happened and kind of just explaining a little bit about Tyler Herro. It is one of the big things where it's like considered a poor defender as a recruit, and it is kind of it's the general consensus that white guards are all going to be really bad defenders in terms of NBA. And in fairness, while he's by no means a lockdown defender, he's done a very, very competent job on that end of the floor, and he's a potential to be great. Again, he already is a great team defender. He's a potential to be a great team defender for a great team. Now, this one here, the Donovan Mitchell of 2019 draft is Tyler Herro. So whoever it is, Sadiq Tuma is on the money on Medium.com. On the money. Scouting report. Averaged 14 points, finished the season as Kentucky's second leading scorer, and he's more than just a shooter. Coming off screens, he can work off dribble, drives, attack, weak defense, rotations. Great with the ball in his hands as well. And given the opportunity, he can work to pick and roll. Solid passer, great decision maker. Truly at his best pulling him off the dribble. His ability to create shot setting apart from other prospects. Like, he's nailed it on the head. Like, he's got it completely nailed. Again, it literally is just a guessing game almost if recruits are going to pan out, but he has basically got exactly what someone would say about Tyler Herro right now. He's gotten it all correct. Exceptional athlete, 6'3". He only has a 6'3" wingspan. Wow, that is not something that I knew. But again, this guy here, tremendous basketball IQ, tools to make big impact in the NBA in his rookie year, exceptional athlete, puts in a ton of effort on defense. So unlike what a lot of people would have again projected, this is a white guy, he's a white guard, he's not going to be a good defensive player. He's 100% right. Final thoughts. Tyler Herro has all the tools to have a huge rookie season and surprise everyone like Donovan Mitchell. That is very true. That is very, very true. So this is, so far we've saw kind of a nothing article. One, that is someone is on the money with Tyler Herro. And then, let's have a look. NBA.com. 6'4", about Tyler Herro. Let's just have a look at the very end. Strengths. Multi-dimensional scoring with very high basketball IQ. Can make plays off dribble. Good size and length for his position. Very good range and overall touch. I mean, what? Good size. Like, he doesn't really have good size and length for his position at the end of the day, unless you consider him a point guard. That's crazy. I did not realize he had a 6'3" wingspan. Like, I have a 3-inch longer wingspan despite being 4 to 5 inches shorter than him. Oh no, 6 inches. Okay, I'm 3 inches shorter, but I've like a 3-inch longer wingspan. Did much more damage by virtue of his swagger and shot making ability than his athleticism. That is true. He doesn't seem to be moving fast. He just goes by absolutely everybody. Lacks a degree of strength and length against elite wing defenders defending 1-on-1. Compensates with high effort level. Held his own against several high level scorers by being physical and energetic. Has some room to improve off the ball, which is one thing he seems to do which is one thing I like about him for Miami. Seems to do a nice job chasing shooters against teams that ran a lot of action on the weak side. You know what? It seems most people kind of have the right idea about Herro, which is crazy because if people, like, it's very obvious that he should have been a top 5 pick in this draft, and he's without question. You could argue that he should have been a top 3 pick in this draft, but it's crazy that normally there's a lot of like really wrong scouting reports, and that's the reason why these guys fall. But the scouting reports seem to kind of be on the money so far, what I've read. And again, I just picked the first ones that I found here. NBA Draft.net. If you guys don't know NBA Draft.net, this is the worst comparison site. This is the site they compared Luka Doncic to Danilo Gallinari. They literally just pick random people that, like, they will compare white guys to random white guys. They just compare people at random. I can guarantee you, people on this site do not watch basketball. Like, Luka Doncic to Danilo Gallinari. Like, I've never seen some ridiculous stuff like that. What else? Draft Express has some bad ones, but I mean, these are notorious for comparing white guys to white guys. Like, just picking a white guy plays a 4, Dirk Nowitzki or Porzingis, just randomly. And that is one thing. Sure, this Draft.net, they also compare Karl Anthony Towns to Andrew Bogut, so I can't really say much there. So Tyler Herro, NBA comparison, Nick Stauskas. Nick Stauskas. What? I get it. Nick Stauskas looked a little bit athletic in college, but come on. And Joe Harris. You know what? If you want to think you beat Joe, if you want to say you beat Joe Harris, fair enough. But like, that doesn't make sense either. He shot 35% from 3 in college. He was a shot creator. He's not like, he's proven he can be a spot-up shooter, but it's not like he's the craziest spot-up shooter, or it's not like he was the craziest spot-up shooter in college. He was not below average. He was an average 3-point shooter, and you're comparing him to Joe Harris, who just won the 3-point contest? Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, let's have a look. Strength. Offensive-minded shooting guard with spurt ability and willingness to hunt for a shot. Excels at setting up defenders when running off multiple screens. Developed a step-back jump shot and to create his own space. Okay, fair enough. Let's see what the weakness is. Lacks length. It's funny. This one is lacks length, and this scouting report has good size and length. So it's like they're just complete opposite of each other. Projects to be a serviceable bench player to spot starter early in his career. The ability to develop a reliable scorer on the next level. May never be good enough defensively to fill a 3-and-D role. I mean, you're not wrong there. He wouldn't be a great 3-and-D player. He can flat out score. Can play a Rip Hamilton type role. Lack of versatility could limit him. And he isn't a ball handler. Debatable. What year is this? This is before the draft, is it? Let's see what else his weaknesses. Not very explosive off the dribble and lacking a great first step. Lacks ideal lateral quickness, fair enough. Not a great passer. I mean, he's a pretty good passer. Sometimes struggles making entry passes to the post, resulting in turnovers. Has a loose handle and is susceptible of getting stripped and driving to the rim. Fair enough. Limited athleticism. I'm pretty sure this is he's very athletic. He's very, very athletic. When was it? Oh, sorry. This is from 2016. Okay, that kind of makes a little bit more sense. That makes a little bit more sense there. He has the potential to be an elite 3-point shooter and above average defender in the league. That is fair. He must be willing to adapt when his shot is not falling. Kind of makes sense. It looks like they're just kind of overthinking him. Doesn't project as a player who can get to the rim with constancy at the NBA level and will have a hard time getting separation, lacks lower body strength, doesn't get off the floor very well, and isn't an above the rim player. I mean, kind of. It's kind of like these whole things is just like nitpicks. This is a prime example of scouts under or overthinking a player. He could flat out score at college. It was very evident early that he was going to be flat out scorer in the NBA, and this is just again an overthink. And this is Sports Illustrated. Here, Herro averaged 14 points, 4.5 rebounds in Kentucky, and they gave him a B+. Okay, that's fair. That is very, very fair. Miami after Herro, many teams consider one of the most promising perimeter scorers in the draft. He can really knock down tough shots. Potential playing off the dribble at least puts in real effort defensively. He don't have anyone on their roster, and this makes sense in terms of fit and upside. You know what? A B+, you'd be probably going A-, but it's not too bad. So, really, the only place where you could say that they got it wrong with Herro is in the guys comparing him to Nick Stauskas and Joe Harris, two not very similar players. But yeah, it is kind of crazy that the general consensus about Herro was that he was projecting to be that really, really good player, even at the NBA level. Seems to be the general consensus around Tyler Herro going into the draft. And it doesn't seem like there's too much wrong with it. Yes, he exceeded expectations big time, especially this early in his career. But it's not like he is this absolutely shockingly good at something player like a Donovan Mitchell, who they didn't really project to be a shooter, and suddenly has turned into a even in year one as a rookie, was a near 30-point a game scorer against the OKC Thunder for the Jazz. So it's not like that type of a meteoric rise where the scouts just got it wrong. It seems like the scouts just got it right with Tyler Herro, but it's still hard to think about how he fell to number 13 in the draft. Maybe they just got it wrong on other players. Maybe it's that they got it wrong with the DeAndre Hunters of the world. They got it wrong with the Jackson Hayes of the world. Because someone like a Tyler Herro, putting him beside I get it, they have Ingram and Lonzo, but imagine putting him beside a Zion Williamson instead of a Jackson Hayes. Like that, man, they'd be scary, that Pelicans team. But then again, maybe it's a case of the Miami Heat culture really, really helping out Tyler Herro more than anywhere else. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Just kind of going over how they thought about Tyler Herro pre-draft. And gotta say, normally scouts are wrong about a lot of players, especially players have an incredible rookie year like he's had. Even though he's really come into his own in the bubble, he has had an overall good year. Either way though, teams in general, you know what, the scouts were right with him. He just obviously exceeded expectations. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.